Okay, so question number 1. What's so important about Einstein's discovery of general relativity? Why is that important? Yes, go ahead. It proved the universe had a beginning. The universe is not eternal. It hasn't always been. There was a point when the universe was not, and in a millisecond, it exploded to being. Before that time, the general working theory of scientists was that the universe is eternal, but it's not. It had a beginning. Number 2, what are some proofs in support of general relativity? So what are some things that have been done to prove that that is true, or to affirm that that is true, that the universe had a beginning is true, general relativity got it right? Mary? Okay, can you name one of the tests? One of the experiments?
Alexander Friedman exposed it.
Right. So there was a British physicist who showed that that the fudge factor, right, the calculation that Einstein put into his theory to make it that the universe was eternal, even that proved that general relativity was true. So mathematical calculations since Einstein's time have proven over and over again that the theory of general relativity is true. What else?
What mathematical?
So like was it Arthur Friedman? Was that Alexander Friedman's calculations and others who have tested the mathematical calculations of Einstein have found that it's correct. What else? Yes?
The cosmological argument.
But we're not talking about the cosmological argument just yet. It's what is experiments that scientists undertook that affirmed the theory of general relativity. Yes, there. Right. So Arthur Eddington did an experiment during a solar eclipse that proved that the universe has a beginning. Proved that general relativity was true. And Arthur Eddington didn't like it any more than Einstein did. In fact, he said that the fact that the universe, and this is a paraphrase, the fact that the universe has a beginning is repugnant to me. Repugnant means it makes me want to vomit. But he couldn't deny it because all the science and all the math said that the universe had a beginning. And then there was a third one. Another experiment. Yeah. No, that's not it. It's another experiment.
When they were looking through the
Right. So That was Hubble, Edwin Hubble, after whom the Hubble telescope is named. And he was looking through his microscope on Mount Wilson in California, and he saw this red shift coming from every observable galaxy. And that meant that the universe was expanding. It wasn't static. It wasn't unchanging. It wasn't eternal. It was moving and moving away, and it was moving precisely from a single point. The universe exploded into being from a single point, and it's been expanding ever since. And that's exactly what Hubble's telescope told us. And remember, Einstein had to see for himself. He's like, okay, I just want to make sure, double sure, triple sure that you're right. And he went out to California to look through the telescope, and he saw the same thing. So I want to make sure that you understand that all of what we're talking about today, atheistic scientists would agree with. Atheistic scientists know that general relativity is true. Atheistic scientists know that the universe exploded out of nothing and has been expanding ever since. And we'll talk about that again when we get further down in these questions. So what was one of Einstein's goals in his later career, and explain why that was the case? Once he realized that the theory of general relativity was true, and that meant that the universe had a beginning, what did he want to know?
How God created the world.
How God created the world. He wanted to know God's thoughts, he said. Because he knew that if the universe had a beginning, and he knew it did, that the universe had a cause, and he assumed that was God. Now, he believed in a pantheistic God, a God that is the universe. But he said he wanted to know God's thoughts, because everything else is just details. Interesting admission from a pantheistic man, right? Yes.
So if you like believe in a God, doesn't that mean that you think you would have to have the world because otherwise then God would have been created?
Yeah, and that's a great question, because that is a conundrum. That is what am I trying to say? A contradiction, right? To say I believe in a pantheistic God that is the universe, and yet then how was the universe created? I think that Einstein, like many people, believed what he wanted, not necessarily what the evidence shows. And that he was brilliant, but he was human. And I think a lot of us believe what we want to believe, not what we can tell is true. So what is the cosmological argument? I'm not asking you to give me the two premises of the conclusion. I'm wanting you to give me a definition of the cosmological argument. Yes, Mary?
What is the argument for?
Yes, it's the argument for a theistic God from the beginning of the universe. So in order to put that the other way, the beginning of the universe points back to a theistic God, and that is what the law of the cosmological argument does. So now we're going to write out that logical form, but you're going to explain each one as we go. So what is the first premise in the cosmological argument?
Everything that had a beginning.
Everything that had a beginning had a cause. What is that statement? What principle is that statement? What law is that statement? Yes, Mary?
The law of
Causality. Yeah, that is the law of causality. The law of causality says that everything that had a beginning had a cause. There's nothing that has ever come forth uncaused except God. but he's always been. And that's what science is all about. Science is a search for causes. And it's unassailable. And what you need to understand is that atheistic scientists believe in the law of causality, believe that everything that had a beginning had a cause. Yes?
So were the angels, like,
Created beings.
but like, were they before the world was created?
Yeah.
But we don't know when.
And there is no when, because there was no time. It's before time. I know, it just makes your brain, kind of smoke, right? Yeah. There's no when before time. That would be a great title of a movie. So then what's the second premise of the cosmological argument?
The universe has a beginning.
Right. So everything that had a beginning had a cause. The universe had a beginning. Again, all scientists believe this now, whether they believe in God or not. They know that the universe had a beginning. So if everything that had a beginning had a cause and the universe had a beginning, what does that mean must be true? The universe had a cause. So everything that had a beginning had a cause. The universe had a beginning. Therefore, the universe had a cause. There's only one possible conclusion. If 1 and 2 are true, and 1 and 2 are true, the entire scientific establishment will tell you that. 3 has to be true. And it is. The only question is, what was the cause? And that's what we're going to spend the rest of the semester with. Okay, that's it for today. And I'm glad we got that done before me.
Where are you?